you have any last words?
Abracadabra.
This is the conversation with Moein Al Bastaki. He's a magician, illusionist, mentalist, entrepreneur, and TV presenter. One of the most talented magicians in the Middle East, he is particularly famous for being the magician who made the Burj Khalifa disappear. In this conversation, we discuss the art of magic, cold reading, mind reading, what goes behind a performance, showmanship, and the future of magic in between his amazing magic tricks. This is no time. If you like what you see, then do hit subscribe on YouTube, follow on Spotify, or rate 5 stars on Apple Podcasts. If you'd like to see this project continue, then do consider making a donation on Patreon, because as you can imagine, these excellent production quality and these special effects, they don't come cheap. For other forms of love and support, you can follow this channel on Instagram or Twitter and share these episodes, or follow me personally.
And now it's no time.
I'm usually asked the magic that I perform, how and what is made of. What do you do? I mean, people have seen me read other people's mind. They go, how is it done? I go, I use my 5 senses and create the 6th sense. So I could read people, their body language, the way they react, the way they sit, the way they talk. So I could get an outcome, and maybe that works in my favor. Sometimes it could be a guess game. Sometimes it could actually be a science. We will try something interesting right now. Now, when I was a small child, my dad made sure he gets me the game of Monopoly. Now, in the game of Monopoly, one of the things that there is, it's the dice. Yes? What I'd love you to do, I'd love you to take the dice, turn it as much as you want. Look at the top one, keep your hand straight, cover your hand. I will try and guess if I could know what number is the number you've looked at. So keep changing, stick to one, put your hand straight, look at the top number, and then once you're ready, tell me, and I'm going to look at you and see if I can guess. And then cover your hand so there is no way that I could see. So you forgot yourself. Okay, that's going to make it more difficult on me. So this is the number you've picked, yes?
Yeah.
Not a usual number that a person might pick. Not a number that I would say is a favorite number to somebody. You wouldn't know what I'm saying, but it's a number that you've picked. I don't know if I'm going to be correct. This is all based on me. I came in, we had a little bit of chit chat. I thought this number is going to be the one that you will be picking for some reason. I don't know. I think it's number 5. If it is, please show the camera. It's number 5. Thank you very much. Let's try this one more time. Now, it might be a guess. It might be something else. Let's try it one more time. Let's change the number again. You can have a look at the number. If you want, you can show the camera. I'm going to cover my eyes so they could also see the number you're picking. Put it in your palm. The number is facing up. You're going to cover by your hand. And then I'm going to see if I can guess. You're done?
Yes.
Yeah. So you have a number.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Now, what usually happens, some people try and pick the same number just to confuse me and make me look bad in front of the audience, but you didn't. You didn't. Such a nice guy. Thank you. You picked another number. In your head, I want you to think either higher or lower. Don't say anything. Higher, lower, just if I could read something. Higher, lower, just, okay. It's number 2, isn't it? Just show them, please. Thank you very much. Let's try this one last time.
Yeah.
This time, I don't want you to even look at the number.
All right.
So you wouldn't even know. The audience would not know. Now, this is a miracle happening, because then how would I know? If I'm reading your body language, how am I not now reading your body language, but based on my calculation, thinking what might happen? So you don't know.
Yeah.
Just
Just do anything.
put a number, anything, any number it is. You're going to cover your hand with the other hand, and then we will see, is it possible for me to know? Now, there is no way you don't know, they don't know. How would I know? But I think, now I'm putting my reputation on the line. I think it's number 4. Just look at the dice, please.
It is number 4. And this is for you.
Thank you.
I would like to dive into the first question.
Please
just
go
based
ahead.
on this. That was incredible.
Thank
What
you.
you just done.
Thank you.
In the movie Prestige, Robert Angier says that the audience knows the truth. The world is a simple place. It's miserable. It's solid all the way through. But for a moment, if you can make them wonder, even for a second, then you got to see something really special, like you did right now, which is the look on their faces.
Sure.
So I want to take you to one of your tricks, the current trick, or the time when you made the Burj Khalifa disappear, when you set yourself on fire. People like me are speechless, going mad. They're saying, this is crazy, this is freaky, what's happening? People are throwing their wigs, they're running away. In that moment, just for a very short few seconds, it feels like before the rational part or the logical part of the brain starts coming in, they start trying to think, how did you do it? They have to put some logic into it, put some science into it. For a very small second, they actually believe what you've done is real magic. So my first question for you is, what do you feel like in that moment?
As you perfectly mentioned, the reaction of the audience is what a magician strives for. Moving parts and feelings in them that they didn't think that's gonna happen. Being fear, being surprise, being shock, being happiness, being wonder. That's what we are there to create for the people. Now, it could be in different ways. It could be in the way that we create the magic, the kind of the magic that we perform. I think my goal is to take that individual back to when they were a small child. For a child, if you tell them, what do you want to become? Their answer will be limitless. They could be an astronaut, they could be a policeman, they could be a Superman, a Spider-Man, whatever they would want. There is no limit to their imagination. If I close your eyes and ask you, what are you seeing right now? You will say, well, it's just a black shadow, nothing. It's a black screen, black nothing, yes? But if you close a child's eyes and think and ask them, what can you see? They go, I can see a tree. I'm sitting down the tree and I'm playing in the garden. They have this open imagination. They can just be and wonder anything they want. What happens in life, the more we grow, we go to the reality and forget about the imagination. We want to bring that back inside the people when we perform magic for them. That impossible is nothing. Now that might actually turn to be a negative thing sometimes. I was performing in one of my shows in one of the malls a couple of years ago, and I was doing wonderful things. I was appearing individuals, I was levitating somebody, I was reading people's mind. And after the show, one of my assistants come to me and they say, there is a guy that wants to meet you. He's with his child. So he's with his son. So I go out. Usually people wanted to take pictures and all that and chit chat with me. So I stand there and he goes, I want you to help me. I said, in what sense? He goes, my child is sick. He's got something in his brain not right. I've taken him to all kinds of doctors. They are not able to help him. Can you please help him? I told him, well, I am not a doctor and I don't have any cure for that. You would need to find a specialist to help you out. He goes, no, but I saw you vanishing somebody and appearing somebody and levitating somebody and reading people's mind. If you can do all these amazing things, then you can help me. So I felt so bad. I gave him a hug and I said, I'm so sorry, but you would need to go to see a doctor, physician, to see how they can help him out. So people can think of what we do sometimes as supernatural powers that you could heal people. And I want to tell your audience to be careful because some people could claim that. Some people could claim that they have that kind of powers and they could help heal people. We cannot help heal people. At the end of the day, we can move your imagination. We could make you wonder. We could have you feel amazing feelings of what we perform, but we cannot bring two lovers back together if they are separated for whatever reason. Yes. I was in Bahrain and I was sitting in a coffee shop with some friends, and this lady comes, she sits with us, and I was performing some magic. She goes, I need your number. I said, yeah, sure. I give her my number. She calls me afterwards. She goes, listen, I have got a lineup of women that they will be willing to pay you any amount of money. Each and every one of them have a problem in life. We want you to help solve it. I said, you're knocking on the wrong doors. Now, I could take advantage of that. That's like a weak individual looking for a solution, coming knocking on my door to help him out. And I could say, you know what? Yeah, pay me this amount of money to do it. But that's wrong. That's ethically wrong. So I don't go toward that path. I tell them, no, I'm sorry, can't help you. You have to go to a specialist for this. So yes, we could do, in brackets, miracles, but our miracles is different than the miracles that sometimes people approach us for it.
The kind of healing or the kind of miracles you do is putting people in that state of awe and wonder for just a few seconds, making them feel like they're children again, like you mentioned, which in itself is a very strong emotion and people should feel it. And of course, that's something that you do quite well. Just people don't have the distinction between what you do is different from what a doctor might be able to do and an incurable disease. Do you find it ironic that every time you do an amazing trick, the first reaction everyone has is, how did you do it?
Definitely.
Yeah. And
For sure.
if you'd actually told them how you did it, then you will be going back to banking for your entire life, right? You won't be able to pursue
The
this.
thing is, I don't think people tell you how did you do it to know the trick. It's more of a shock that they get, like, how did you do it? Like, it's like, how did this happen? Yes. It's not that, no, tell me how it's done. Tell me how it's done. Now, some people might, I would say 10% of them might go, no, I really want to know how it was done. Yes. But then when somebody tells me, now in the beginning, I didn't have that kind of awareness and knowledge. When somebody used to tell me, how did you do it? So if I'm really excited, I might tell them the trick. Yes. But that's not what they want. Like, how did this happen? How did you do it? And of course, we don't go and reveal our secrets. Then, as you said, we're not going to have any kind of bookings anymore afterwards. Yes. And there's no fun. The thing is, when you know the trick, because people might think that the magic trick is very complicated. Yes. But in actuality, it is not as complicated as the audience might think. So once you tell them the secret, they go, oh, that was a way that you did it. That was, okay. So that's not, I mean, when they know, you think they might say, wow, how amazing that was. But that's not the way that they react to knowing the trick is actually in a lower pace than what you expect. They're not going to be jumping around that they know the trick. They will be in shock how they were fooled by it when you performed it on them.
That's what Alfred Bowden said in Prestige as well. The answer impresses no one. It's the trick that you use it for.
Sure.
And you are right. I think there's an inherent nature in human beings to get the answers to everything.
Definitely.
Right? So the moment a trick happens, how did you do it? There has to be a solution to it, because I guess leaving yourself with that wonder or that mystery will sometimes get annoying, right? How
Sure.
did you do it? How did you do it? There has to be a way. So
Definitely.
I
I get lots of people after I perform for them something. They come still after a couple of days like, no, I really want to do. How did you do that? Yeah. So that creates a challenge for me in some way somehow to do magic that if they search it online, they will not find the answer there. You can just go on YouTube, search something there, you will just find the answer, or on Google. That's the reason I don't do card tricks. Because if you just go to YouTube and write magic or magician, you will see all kind of card tricks there. So the kind of magic I try and perform are magic that would keep them wondering and would take them to the real magic or real miracle, but not crossing that line. So I do miracles for them. It goes up to the border of it, but is it real magic? Is it not? I just leave them there.
That's an interesting point. Can we explore that a bit?
Yeah, for sure.
So, how do you view magic? Do you think magic is learning skills of sleight of hand, misdirection, suggestions, hypnosis a bit, and reading body language and showmanship? Do you think magic is all about learning those skills and then marketing that as a performance? Or do you think magic is still that mystical element that you can't explain what it is? It's more of the emotion and the feeling inside. Do you think magic is like anything like learning the guitar or something of that sort, where you're putting up a few skills, you're becoming very good at how you look at people and how you use your hands, so you're doing something on the side, a lot of misdirection? Or is it more of the wonder and awe that you create in people?
See, I think it's how the performer would want to take the magic forward. If you would want to be the sleight of hand guy that want to impress people by doing a couple of sleight of hands on social media, then or to your friends, then you can be that. But I think you could go deeper than that. I think I in some of my TV appearances, I talk about a mysterious creature that I talk to, which I call Abdo, where I get my answers from when you are thinking of something. When I am on my TV appearances, I put on a candle and I talk in riddles. You could be that. You could be that and then create a deeper experience for the individual. I read people's palms. I tell them about themselves without even meeting them beforehand. I do tarot cards. I do all that stuff also. So it's how you would want the people to perceive you as a magician. Is he a trickster that comes to the party and just makes everybody happy with the magic that he creates? Or even if the guy is walking and looking at you, you would think, oh, he's reading my mind right now. Please don't shake my hand because you will know lots of information from me. So it's the way that you would want to be perceived by the people. You know what I mean? It's like, or you could be in between, like what the usual TV magicians are. Like David Copperfield is not this dark, mystical person. He's not that, that party guy, the party magician guy. He's the person in between. Chris Angel is more dark because of the way that he dresses himself, the gothic look that he's got. For some time, I was actually, if you go to very old videos of mine, like 8-9 years ago, I was taking that path for a while. So I took that path. I love the Undertaker wrestler. Yes. So he was my favorite when I was a small child. So when I got into magic and I was going on TV, I got that kind of look and brought it to my character. But that was for some short period of time. And then I went to my Arabic look. I think it's all about what is your identity? What do you want people to see you? To me, when I started being on TV 12 years ago, I wanted to be the Arab magician, the guy that represents his region. So I dress an Arabic dress. And that's the reason I think I am very much booked for shows that are Arab audience wise. So there are lots of Arab audience because they know that they are talking to somebody from them. Yeah. They could bring any other magician, but then because I have given them the identity of the Arab magician, and because there was nobody else that was out there in their traditional dress doing magic, that was the path that I decided I'm going to do. I didn't want to be looking like David Copperfield, Chris Angel, David Blaine, Dynamo, these guys. I wanted to be the Arab magician. So actually lots of people from outside the country approach me because they see that the identity that I I'm perceiving, or they can perceive me, I'm showing, is interesting. We never thought that an Emirati guy could be a magician, you know? But then, of course, there are lots of restrictions there also. I cannot go and dance with a dancer on a stage with my Arabic dress because that's sort of disrespectful to the way that I'm dressed or the dress itself or the country that I am from. So I have to perform magic that matches my character. So that was a decision I made, and I continued. And of course, today I'm with you in the same
You are
identity.
paving a very unique story and a very unique path. You're the first Emirati magician as well, and I'm sure you're a pioneer for a lot of people who might be interested in this field, and now they get the confidence to pursue it further. We will be discussing the cultural aspect of it a bit as well. But while you had mentioned magicians who dive into the spiritual aspect of it, or who light candles and who try to get in contact with the spiritual elements of the world, I wanted to check with you, just beyond magic, have you ever come across an incident in your life where you had this out of body experience, a spiritual experience? Some people would call it a ghost story of sorts, but have you ever felt that what is happening is something that you cannot explain outside your own life, where the magician himself has been left stunned for a while?
Well, I don't know. I mean, not that I could put my finger on an experience that happens, but I think some shocks in life can take you to that level. You don't believe it's happening to you, but it is happening to you. Yes. So to me, I've not experienced out of body kind of phenomena, but for example, my child was born in the car last week. I was at home. My wife said I have to go to the hospital. In the car, in 5 minutes, my child is out. So now I'm rushing going to the hospital. At the back seat is my wife with my child, just born. On the phone, I'm with the police, figuring out what to do. It is me looking at a screen of something happening in my life, not believing that I'm actually just right now experiencing. So that was something, actually, they wrote it in the news a couple of days after that, of course, I had a child just born in a car for me. So that happened to me. To me, that's an out of body experience. That was something I wasn't expecting, something that have happened to me, and I didn't think that's going to ever happen to me. So that, yes. But then if any kind of out of body experience that have happened to me, nothing that I could put a finger on.
Those are the moments that are kind of really magical. Where, I mean, not that one specifically, but the one where becoming a father,
Definitely.
having a child,
Definitely.
I'm sure that will be the real magic of your life. And then I'm sure the work you do is quite great, but supersedes becoming a father, of course, is way bigger than that. And if not any other outer body experience, you have used magic in the past to cheat in exams and to avoid speeding fines as well. So there's a lot of benefits to taking up this trade.
Well, yeah, definitely. Well, I'm not advising people to do that. Don't learn magic to get out of the speeding ticket. I mean, if it works for you, then why not? I think everybody somehow, most of us, or maybe some of us, had cheated somehow, some way in an exam. I had the advantage of being a magician, where I found that I could use lots of my tricks to do that. I mean, and lots of the times that I've cheated, once I was caught even. So, but the teacher was really kind enough to let go with my cheating. So yeah, I didn't report it. So yeah, so I've used it. See, the thing is, I advise everybody to get into a little bit of magic. If not, of course, for cheating and getting out of a speed ticket, it's just to make the let's say if you go out with your friends, make the gathering a little bit more interesting. Yeah, if you learn every week 1 or 2 magic tricks, there are dozens of them online anyway. I think while you're sitting and talking, or everybody being on their phone, if you could do a magic trick for them, that's going to make the sitting a little bit more interesting and nice. I advise husbands to learn some magic tricks because, well, they can do some magic for their wives. Just make it a little bit more interesting. Children, definitely. I mean, I always talk about the parents should have their children learn some magic because children love magic. And if they don't perform it, if they see some magician performing magic, they just love it. So if they learn some magic and they go to school, and children do have a problem in not knowing how to socialize with other children, yes? So if they know some magic, they will be seen as the magician colleague at the school that all the children want to see some new magic from him. It happened to me. Like I knew some magic, so every child was wanting to come to be my friend because they knew I'm the cool magician person. So that's something, I mean, beyond looking at magic being something to solve a problem or to just want to become a professional magician, I think just to make your life a little bit more interesting, learning some magic is a good thing.
Okay, so before we go into your journey, exploring your journey further, I believe you have another trick for us.
Okay, so we started with a kind of mind experience, mind reading trick that we did with a dice, yes? Now, before we started recording, I asked you to get me a note money, yes? So you've got the note with you.
Got a 5 dirham note.
A 5 dirham
pocket.
note, okay. I asked for 1,000. Well, the bank was really far away for him to withdraw. 5 is good enough for now, yes? So that money, it's not mine. That's yours. I never touched it. I don't know what it is. I don't know this money, yes?
Yeah. Can I just say, not seen it at all. It is my note. Never handed it to him. Always in my hands. Look at the truth in my eyes.
Yes.
Yeah.
So let's try this. Every bank note money has a serial number. Now, if you are at home and you've got similar note, if you got 10 dirham or a 5 dirham or a 20 or whatever you have, if you take 2 of them or 3 of them, none of the serial numbers are similar. They make it different because it has to be unique and different, every note. Now, the note that you have, I wanted to bring it out, open it down the table, so I am not seeing it in no way. Yes? Now, the serial number is, I think, between 10 to 12 numbers. Not sure. But to not take lots of time on trying to guess the numbers of the note that you have, which is yours, let's go with the last 4 numbers. Yes? Is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay. So I would want you to look. So the last 4 numbers, the first number of the last 4 numbers.
Sorry, so the serial, just so I don't mess this up. The serial number is the one on the bottom, right?
Should be.
The bottom right.
I think 10 numbers, if I'm not mistaken, or more. Yes? Okay.
I have 9 digits at the bottom right. That's
Okay,
the one.
that
That's the
should be
one.
the one.
That's the
should be
one, right?
I think, yes.
Okay,
Yes.
let's go.
So you've got your note.
Yeah.
Never shared it with me. Don't know. Not seen it. The last 4 digits of that note. I want you to think of the first number. First number. Now try and imagine that you are looking and there is a thread connecting my head with your head. So that number is sort of jumping to my head. Don't tell me anything. Don't react in any way. Just repeat the number in your head. Yes? Okay. So you looked this side thinking of that. No. Okay. I think, I'm not sure. I don't know. The first number. There is no way that I would know.
There's no way.
There is no way. Is
There's
it
no way.
9, the first number?
It is 9.
Is it 9? Okay,
It
9,
is
9,
9.
okay. 9. Think of the second number. Now think of it if in a different language than you thought of the first number. So you could a little bit confuse me in a way. So, okay, are you thinking of the number or thinking of a different number? What are you doing? Just don't tell me. Don't tell me.
I was trying to think of a different language.
Okay.
But even in my language, I just know
It's
it
a
as
si-
the
okay.
English. It's
Okay, it's the same thing. Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm feeling a void. I'm feeling a void. I feel a change in your life coming. I don't know. I don't know if it's a travel to come or is it a change of a house, something that you're going through. But then that's not relevant. Is it a 0? The second number 0. Okay.
zero.
Avoid 0. The last 2 numbers, I feel similarity but difference. I feel it's not the same number, but maybe near each other. So 9, 0. Okay, you gave me a smile, so that's near each other. I think the third number is a 2. The last number is a 3, isn't it?
It is.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Look at
Do you
that.
want to show them the serial number just for them to see?
Well, I don't think this can be seen, but anyway, you can vouch for it. I'm going to get your signature on this now.
Oh, for sure, that's all
I'm gonna
yours.
frame it over here. That was amazing.
Thank you.
And a part of me screaming inside to know how you did it. But then that would be hypocritical of me. Okay. You were, I think, quite young. Let's trace back a bit further. So your grandfather was a trader who used to go to India often, and he met a lot of street magicians who taught him all these tricks. Came home, tried to teach your father and your uncles these tricks, not interested at all. So he came to you. I think you were playing this Mona Lisa puzzle one day, and he just came to you. He said, "Look at this 1 dirham coin," bit it in half, and then brought it right back. And this started this entire journey for you where you are today, and you've created so much positive impact in the world. Do you often think about the power of magic in that sense? When you do a trick for a child in front of you, do you ever often think that what you're doing now is what your grandfather did for you? And this one trick might be a very simple trick, very simple answer that even he might discover later in life, oh, it was a very simple trick. But in that moment, the impact it would have and the kind of influence it would have in their life. Do you ever think about that?
Sure. I think the one thing that I always tend to do before I perform magic for somebody is I don't perform the magic. Look at the trick. Here is the trick. Because as you stated, I would want to give little value to what I'm performing and little depth on what I just did or will be doing for the person. So because I know, as you stated, that this might be an experience that they might talk about after 20 years. There was this magician I met 20 years ago, and this guy made this lady fly. It was so amazing, and even maybe remember my name. Yeah, I would love to create that experience for the individual. I would love them to remember one of the tricks that I'm going to be doing, which also was taught to me by my grandfather. I saw another magician do it. So this magician was doing this trick everywhere. So when I do this trick, although it was taught to me by my grandfather, I've seen this magician do it. So I remember him, that he used to have all these golds on him, the magician. So he used to give that character out, like, and I'm always gold. And he did this one last trick, the last trick I'm going to be performing today. So that one he used to always do. And that's one of the most interesting tricks you could see in the magic arsenal of tricks. So I think the impact could be heavy on the individual. I think it all depends on how the magician is performing the trick. Is he really just performing a trick? Is it, hey, let me just show you something interesting? Or is there some depth to it? Is there some connectivity that you would have with the individual? Like if I am having somebody fly, usually if there is a small girl in the audience sitting, I bring her up. I have her walk beneath the person flying. I have her take a selfie with the person flying and then go back to the seat. So that's an experience I'm creating for her. That picture she will post on Instagram, we would say, or somewhere, and her friends are going to talk about it, and she will remember that trick that was done by me for her. So I try and make it a little bit more personalized. So yeah, I make sure that is done.
Interesting. Your grandfather did do a personalized trick for you, and that's the impact it created in your life. You, at the age of 9, did your first magic show in front of your family. Complete disaster.
Yes, it was. Yes.
But one of your uncles still gave you 5 dirhams.
That was the same 5 dirham you have it today. Now. No, I'm just.
Can you imagine?
That would have been.
Well, it went through hands, right? You might have given it somewhere,
never
then
know.
it came back to me.
Yes,
and
yes.
that's why you knew the number. So you got the 5 dirhams, and initially your father was not supportive of the idea
For
of you
sure.
becoming a magician, gave you a hard slap, said,
Yes.
because probably he didn't get the opportunity to pursue education, so he wanted you to pursue higher education.
For sure.
And then
For sure.
much later in life, when he saw your success and your impact, he did a 180 and he was very supportive of your work. He used to share your videos around as well. So I want to check with you that particular phase, that specific phase where he did not like the idea of you becoming a magician. How was it for you? Did you did you ever feel that you want to become a better magician to prove him wrong and then also to win him over in a way? Or do you feel like you almost gave up on the dream because if he was not supportive, someone you looked up to for all your life, then might as well just give up on the dream?
See, the thing is, I think also the reason of him not really wanting for me to become a magician, because the idea of a person from this region to become a magician, first, career wise, there is no magician in this region. So, what do you want to become? Like, a magician, what is that? What is that career going to go? Secondly, because magic per se, as the word, is a very heavy word in my region. It is banned, it is no, it is not allowed. You couldn't do it, you are dealing with a supernatural power. So, I, in the beginning of my path of becoming a magician and coming on media, had a role to play, is to educate people to differentiate between the real magic, which is the magic of a supernatural power dealing with demons or ghosts or whatever is out there, and tricks that is performed, but it's performed really, really neatly and nicely and strongly that people could perceive it as magic, as real magic. So that was something that I was making sure that I am differentiating. I'm bringing a little bit of this there but then telling people that, listen, whatever I'm doing is just magic tricks. I am an entertainer. I don't have any supernatural power. I used to make sure in the beginning, whenever I'm invited to a TV appearance, I say this sentence in the start of my interview. Whatever I'm going to be performing is just a magic trick. It's going to be a magic experience. I do not have any supernatural power, but then go and perform for them some of the most strongest tricks that they've ever seen. So then that confuses them a little bit, but I've given them the disclaimer. So I had to do that. I think now people could and do know the difference. They know that whatever Moein is performing is a trick. Yes, he's performing, he's reading our minds, he's doing lots of things amazingly creativity wise or magic wise, but it is not him dealing with a demon. Although I sometimes also mention demons, I connect with them, but people know the difference. They know that I'm not doing real magic. It's a magic experience, it's a magic trick, but done very, very, very well. So that was the reason he did not want me to pursue this, because the word magic is not allowed. It's mentioned several times in our holy book that magic is not allowed, or magicians are not mentioned. They've been mentioned for many times in the book. So that's the reason he didn't want to go there. Like, what do you want to become? This is not allowed. What do you want to do? No, go become a doctor, go become an engineer, like every parents they want you to become. Yes, go become a lawyer, go become, I don't know, CEO of a company, but no magician. So that's the reason it was a shock for him. And it was me pursuing it was firstly because I loved the art of magic. It was so interesting, so intriguing. And also, well, I didn't he wanted me to continue my education. I did that for him. I did that for myself and for him. I got my master's degrees. Here's my certificate. You can hang it on the wall, but I'm going to do the magic. So I continued my magic. And then, as you mentioned, he was so proud of what I'm doing. Sharing my videos. He used to make, at that time, they were like DVD players, or what do you call it?
You burn the CDs and you,
So he used to burn my footages on TV, on the DVD, and go to his friends, and they used to play it, and they used to watch it, and everybody goes clapping after I do a magic trick. So they used to do this every Friday to go watch my videos of me being on TV. He was that proud. Well, God rest his soul, he's no more with us. He left us a year and a half ago, so because of a heart attack and all. So I wish he's still proud being here with you.
All of us are quite proud and always rooting for you. You are
Thank
someone,
you.
like I said, who's paving the way for a lot of people. But like you mentioned, a lot of challenges also come through with being the first of anything. Being the first Emirati magician, like you mentioned, at home you have some resistance, and even culturally you have some resistance. Was there a moment where even though you were facing resistance from your father, from your family, also your culture itself is also, you feel like maybe this is not for me. Maybe I don't feel like I'm in the right place for it, or maybe my talents are not be respected. Was there ever a
Sure.
moment where you felt this?
There was.
There was.
Now, before I went on TV, it was 2009, 10ish. I used to have a channel on YouTube calling myself Mommy Illusions, not speaking Arabic, speaking English, in a pant and a hat and all, and go out and perform magic for people, because I was worried that how are people are going to perceive this guy from our culture who performs magic. I got my first TV appearance with a local TV. I remember I had a talk with a friend of mine from Bahrain, Muhammad, his name. And I said, Muhammad, listen, I've been all this time showing people I'm this guy by the name of Momi Illusions. I have now a chance to be on TV. What should I do? He goes, just go with your name. I was like, what should I dress? Because I was been dressing by, I was sort of a little bit affected by the Chris Angel wave. So I was like, watching lots of Chris Angel. I was like Chris Angel kind of. So he's like, no, just be yourself. So I decided I'm going to go in Arabic dress. And I went with my name. And I was very, very, very much worried that the people in the society, my family, will not accept this, because this is not allowed. This is magic. What are you doing? Yes. For years after even me being on TV, my family used to receive messages from further family members, further distance family members, saying, "What is your son doing? I mean, what is this? This is black magic. This is white magic. This is, I don't know, whatever color of magic." They used to then come to me, "Why you're doing vanishing Burj Khalifa, doing this, levitating somebody in the sky?" So I said to them, if you would want to know the secret of how it's done, I could definitely explain it, but there is no, I don't have any deals selling my soul to a demon for me to be able to do all
Was
this.
that hurtful at that moment when your family members are coming back to you?
It was that a little bit, and a bit of being proud of myself. And I'll tell you in a way, because I am performing my art so good for people to think that I do have some sort of powers. Yeah. So I remember my okay, what happened in between the phase of my dad saying do your education, and then me after my education, that part of my life, I actually stopped magic. I was like, okay, you know what? Maybe after high school to sort of my master's degrees, let me just take a break, focus on education, do that and see. So I remember after me becoming on TV and doing lots of magic and mesmerizing lots of people, a friend of mine from university writes me, and he goes, listen, I mean, if you know all the secrets in the world, before us going to a football match and losing 6-0 every time,
Yeah.
you could have told us we're going to lose 6-0 and not go and play the match. Yes. So I was like, yeah, well, I didn't, whatever. I don't know. I was like, I didn't know then. So then I was not really the magician with the people that I used to deal with on day-to-day basis. I was the Moein Al Bastaki, the normal guy. But then after the master's degrees, that was when I really stepped my foot on the gas, and I was, I'm just going to go this path.
And we're glad you went on this path.
Thank you.
I want to dive into magic itself, the tricks and the performance. But to introduce that segment, let's do another trick, I guess,
Sure.
to set up the segment.
No
What
problems.
would you like to do?
So let's try this. Now, one of the things that I also perform, other than reading people's mind and connecting with them and telling them stuff, is we call it in magic geek magic, yeah, or bizarre magic. Magic that is a little bit more dangerous than the normal magic we perform. So what I've brought with me today is a bunch of needles. If you can examine this, if you don't mind, just be careful. This is a real needle. Yeah,
Yep.
real needle.
Real
So,
needle. With the eye.
yes, so with the eye, definitely.
Not looking forward. Yep. And he's swallowed it. eating it. Followed it.
One needle is gone.
Yep. Another real needle. Gone as well.
Not to waste time, needle by needle.
I mean, you can take your time if you like.
Just tap on real needle.
Yep,
isn't it?
all
A
sharp.
bunch. Like, I don't know, 7, 8.
Those who can't watch, there's the thread is now through all the needles which he had swallowed. It's through all of them. It's okay. You can keep it.
This is a necklace you can keep. It's going to be good for luck. I mean,
Yeah, I
or
mean,
hang it somewhere.
with the 5 dirham note and the necklace over
Yes.
here. I'm just collecting all the gifts you can give. That was fantastic. Once again, dying to know how you did it, but gotta respect the magician's code. David Copperfield had said that the real secret of magic is in the performance.
Definitely.
How much importance do you put on showmanship and your delivery, the theatrics of it? Maybe in this trick, I'm not sure how much is real, how much of the coughing, of looking around the beating the stomach, how much of that is performance, how much of that is real. Do you think there's a power or there's a value in magic tricks, just as if there's a good magic trick, someone can come on stage, just do it and leave without doing anything? Or do you feel like the showmanship is a part of this act?
When I'm told that, can anybody perform magic? I say yes. I mean, anybody can perform magic, but the magic is only 20% of your performance. When you go on stage, one of the things that I sort of talk and teach and mention to people, performers wise, when you go on stage, you have 3 seconds for the audience to decide. Do they want to look at you and watch your performance or continue being busy on their phone? 3 seconds. That is 20%. The way that you carry out yourself as a performer is another 20%. The way that you dress up for the performance is 20%. And the strength of your communication to the audience is another 20%. So the magic is only 20%. So people can become a magician, but not every magician is a good magician. You would need to be believable as a magician for the audience to respect your act. Otherwise, they can just put on the YouTube and watch anybody that is doing some magic. And that's what makes a difference. The magic is a minimal part of what you perform. We say that the magician is an actor playing the role of a magician. So we have to act well with magic to perform the role of a magician.
That's a very unspoken aspect of being a magician, where people think just learning tricks is all it is, but in fact, larger amount of effort goes in your personality, your charisma, the delivery of the trick, the misdirection that you put into it. The trick is actually the smaller part of it. You are an excellent mentalist, and a lot of mentalism also involves face reading, cold reading, reading someone's body language, a lot of suggestions, a lot of gestures as well. What are, just beyond magic as well, what are some techniques or tips that you can share with us that people can just use in the real life if they meet someone new? What are some quick things that they can just grasp from their face, their body language, the way they're moving their hands, or the way they speak, that then tell them something about their personality?
I think one thing that also a great magician in our mentalist in our field, I don't know if you've heard of Darren Brown.
Yes.
Teaches and preaches and talks about is the lie and truth with the NLP, using NLP in what a mentalist does when you ask somebody to tell 3 truth, facts, and 1 lie, and their eye movement changes. So if you are talking to somebody and they are talking about something and they want to know if they're telling the truth or lie, you can ask them about a couple of things that you know it could be a fact, and then have them ask them a question that you want to know the answer of. And if they are telling a lie, their eye movement is going to go in the opposite direction. So that's something that you could actually, if you've seen the series The Mentalist, they actually also explore on that NLP. It's actually an NLP kind of fact. It's something that they teach in NLP, but also we use it in Mentalist. So that's something that you could do. Trick wise, by end of this episode, I'm gonna teach you guys 1 magic trick that you could today do with your friends. That's a good deal. You like that?
That's a great deal.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna be teaching a trick that I usually do on my stage show for you guys to be able to do it for your friends today.
Fantastic.
Awesome.
I don't want to put you on the spot, but I am very fascinated by the kind of techniques mentalists use. So is there anything you can tell about me, just reading my body language, reading my face, reading my gestures, something that tells you about my life or my personality?
Putting me on the spot, that was what you're doing right now, isn't it?
I mean, we can skip it. Or just in general, not just me as well. Just...
See, the thing is, I'm going to reveal a thing that I could do right now, which you've mentioned in your talks some minutes ago, which is the cold reading. Now, I could definitely tell you some stuff about you, which we call it actually Barnum statement. Yes? So Barnum statement being statements that's factual for everybody. That's
what they use in astrology, right?
That's it.
Yeah.
So if you go and if you cover the astrological sign of yours and read, you would see it matching yours. You wouldn't need to go to your sign. It's just because if you believe in the astrology and you go to Virgo and you read it, you will connect with it more rather than connecting with the other ones. But there is an experiment that Chris Angel did, is that he brought lots of people in. He's like, this is your astrology. And of course, everybody said it is, yes? So that's something that I actually do. We could try that, but I think that's going to be not really telling you about yourself, yes? There are ways that I do things to know things about people, which next time I'm for sure gonna do.
Yeah, for sure. You have amazed and stunned a lot of celebrities. You have done tricks for Diego Maradona, Mike Tyson, John Travolta, and John Cena as well. Usually, it's your role to make people speechless, make them amazed. But has there been a moment in life when you met a celebrity where you were in fact left starstruck by them, and you were left in wonder? Now, what has been your favorite celebrity encounter?
But the thing is, I have met lots of celebrities. I mean, international wise, Arab world, Gulf countries, celebrities. I've been lucky to meet most of the Gulf celebrities, lots of the international ones. Maradona was a person that I was worried to do magic for because of his history in the football field. Lots of fights, lots of anger. So to me, it was, okay, if he's not going to like my magic, then I might be in trouble.
Yeah.
To my surprise, anybody that I was a little bit worried to perform for, they turn out to be the greatest I performed for them. Like John Cena, I did this trick for, where this is my finger. I don't know if you've seen this video of John Cena.
I've seen it. Yes.
So then I could, if I find the right spot, I could break my finger and go all the way and then bring it all the way back.
That's not right.
And this is actually my finger. So this is what I did for John Cena. I performed the same trick for CM Punk, R-Truth, 3 of the WWE Superstars. So he gave me a big reaction toward this. Although this wasn't a big trick, but this was a trick. It was, what should I do for him? Let me break my finger and bring it back. So
casual,
normal thing. Yes.
Yes.
So he was very much happy and mesmerized. With Maradona, I did another trick. The wonderful thing with Maradona was that after I did the trick, he hugged me, he laughed, he was so happy with the magic. So I've performed with lots of the big names in the Arab world, where some of them are not even around these days. So it's sad, but it makes me happy that I had the chance to meet them and do some magic for them. So I have been so privileged to be able to meet and experience some of my talent toward them. And I think I've mentioned this also before, that lots of these celebrities, their job is to entertain people. Their job is to wrestle. That's an acting that they're doing, or an actor to act, or a singer to sing. They are the entertainers. So when I go in and I perform for them, they take a break from them entertaining people, and they are now being entertained with a different kind of art. And they always appreciate. John Travolta, when I met him, it was so wonderful. He gave me a really, really nice reaction that I perform magic for him. So they've been. I think with actors, I usually sometimes worry because they are actors. They sometimes on their set they have to know some magic. They have to know the black art magic or sleight of hand magic, because they have to do something while they are filming a movie or something. Yeah. So I get worried, like they might know the trick, but they usually do not. And I tend to do magic that they might not have come across before. But their reaction is always wonderful. It always gives me joy. Tomorrow I have a meetup with known actress from Syria I'm performing for. She approached me that, can you come? I've done for Anil Kapoor from Bollywood.
Jackass.
Yes.
Yeah.
I have done for Karthik. Yes. I've done Saif Ali Khan when I was performing for Anil Kapoor. He was there, but I didn't sort of had a meetup with him and did the performance for him. Shah Rukh Khan is somebody who loves magic. I've not performed for him, but I've seen him in IPL. He does lots of quick change magics. I don't know if you've seen that, but if you go on YouTube, you see Shah Rukh Khan doing lots of magic. He loves magic. So magic is quite familiar with the actors. Well, let's hope Shah Rukh Khan also one day.
He is watching. He's
He is
always.
watching.
Is there one celebrity that you have a dream that you want to perform tricks for?
Yes, The Rock.
The Rock.
Yes, I mean I've performed for almost most of the WWE superstars. Either as a presenter when I was with them, I've met up with them, and some of them I've performed, and of course my videos are there. But The Rock is somebody that I would love to meet and perform for from the international actors. From the Arab world, Adil Imam is somebody that if is written, I would love to perform for him also.
I'm sure Dwayne Johnson is watching.
For sure.
Is one of the reasons you want to perform for him because you might have grown up watching The Rock on
Sure.
TV?
The thing is, I also was a presenter on TV for WWE. I met John Cena. I've met the McMahons. I've met everybody that was there. Daniel Bryan, The Undertaker, everybody I've met. But I've not met The Rock. So that's somebody I would love to meet and then do magic for.
The Rock, I know you're watching. Let's make it happen.
For sure.
Before we start wrapping up, I wanted to get your thoughts on the future of magic. The way I see it these days is that with the internet and everyone's access to so much information, anyone can now Google a lot of the 80% of the magic tricks that they see on stage. So magicians constantly have this pressure to keep reinventing, and also not just reinventing, but push themselves physically to do physical feats, something like what David Blaine does, and also develop more gadgets and the technology behind it. So the kind of stage props that you build or the machine that you, a glass box, but it has so many compartments and things like that. Very characteristic of what Houdini used to do in the past as well. Where do you think the future of magic is going now with the internet and these kind of YouTube, TikTok, and people just doing tricks here and there? Do you think with time, magic like what David Blaine does, where physical stunts and pushing your body, because he's really learning how to breathe underwater, or putting live frogs in his stomach, or now recently where he held the balloons and he just flew up. Do you think magic is going to go more towards physical achievements and technological achievements, or there will still be the simple tricks around?
Now, to go back to a history of magic, cinema actually was created by a magician. Cinema was just a screen that a train used to just pass through the screen. That was a short film, like just train goes and people are watching and they're mesmerized. How is that happening? Yes. But that was a magician who created it. So technology is always used, and different fields of science, physics, chemistry, mathematics, used by magicians to create a magical effect. So we are usually having our antennas on, looking for anything that we could use that could create magic and show us as a futurist that could do stuff. Yes. If you saw the Illusionist movie, the person supposedly his lover wasn't there, but he created this hologram sort of showing that she was there, but then she was not dead by the end of the movie. So we are there with technology. We always use the newest thing that's out there to create a magical experience. Now, the way that I think for a magician to do magic that it works for him, he should be so creative to either create a magic that could not be replicated by somebody who's doing a TikTok video, or do a spiritual, deep magic where you could touch somebody personally in some way that there is no search on Google will explore that magic. Now, before having the YouTube out, the TikTok there, and all these social media platforms, we also faced another challenge as magicians. There was this guy, the masked magician. that came out and started exposing lots of the magic
He
tricks.
has a show called Secrets of the Magician,
Sure.
finally revealed, right?
Yes.
The documentary series.
For sure.
Yes.
So he was going and revealing all the secrets of David Copperfield, David Blaine,
Yes.
Chris Angel, everybody else. And that did put the magicians on the spot to go and either create better magic or do magic that he will not be able to go and reveal. So that was a challenge that the first we faced as magicians to protect our art. Of course, now you can go on TikTok and just create a 2-second video and you're doing magic. But we now, of course, facing a challenge there. And that's what is pushing the magician to become a better magician and not just a person who does a couple of card tricks and goes and claims to be a non-magician. Because that card trick is going to be revealed in 2 minutes on YouTube, or if you just check the comments and somebody's revealing it anyway. So that's what I also go do. When I go on TV, I try, or with yourself or with anybody else, I try and do magic that if somebody watches, goes, okay, you know what? In the comment, just write how it was done. I try and do things that, that is a little bit more real than finding it on YouTube.
Yeah, would love to see how magic evolves with time. Okay, so before we start wrapping up, I would like you to interpret what I've built with the Lego and the small thing that you've built here. What do you think you have built?
Okay, I think this is a stand by the pool that you go and jump on and then jump into the pool.
It actually does look like that. It's fantastic. What do you think this is?
Oh, that's a spaceship, man. I think I can. Yeah, Star Wars new spaceship.
A
I
diving
think.
board for the spaceship. All ties in. Okay. Before I jump into our final questions, we have one final trick left.
Sure.
And you're also going to teach us a trick now.
Definitely. So let's do the final one. Now, this is a trick now that my grandfather actually learned it from the street magicians in India. So this was one of the main tricks that he learned it. And this is there was a group of people in UAE. They used to call themselves Shamshun. These people, when I was a small child, also they used to perform in some places. They used to do these kind of tricks, this kind of magic only. So I wouldn't call this a trick because it's not really a trick, and you will see why. If you choose one, just check if they are like real nails. You check the needles, now real nails, and I will get the assistant of my phone. Yeah, it's not bendable. It is not a fake nail. It is not. There's not. You cannot separate it apart. You can just pick one of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you imagine? So your grandfather went to India, learned from the traders there, taught it to you, and then now you're coming, bring it back to India again. So
Definitely.
full circle.
So this is the nail that you did. I'm not doing any kind of sleight of hand. It's just there. So no, this is a real nail and this is a real skull.
He just put the nail up his nose and it's right in.
Get finger. Okay. I want to pinch the nail. Grab it. Okay. Let's slowly. No.
Back. I went through some things. Felt like your life was in my hands.
Thank you very much.
That was
Thank
amazing.
you very much.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Incredible.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. This was one of the first tricks that you can imagine a small kid standing by the grandfather and he's teaching him the trick of. I remember the first time he taught me how to eat a glass. For a week, I couldn't do it. I mean, we do eat glass. That's one of the things that we do. I couldn't do it. And so he used to put a piece of glass on my tongue, goes like, eat it. I'm not going to eat it. Bring it back. Eat it. Now was fighting with the whole idea. Like, you want me to eat a glass? And then, of course, that's something that is, of course, what he also learned it from India. So India is actually known to be one of the oldest civilized countries that were doing magic. India was one of them, Egypt was another one, and China. But Chinese kind of magic wasn't interesting enough. To me, they have got lots of flourishy kind of thing, but nothing like deep, bizarre, like what they say, hitting a nail in your head is. So I still do lots of these tricks that he've taught me. On my stage show, a 10-minute of my stage show is walking on a real glass, where he taught me the hitting a nail in the nose, eating glass. These were some of the tricks that I learned from him.
It is very, very fascinating. And we have the street magicians, the fakirs of India to thank. Sure. And then, of course, you as well. You're also going to teach us.
So let's try and do it.
Something.
This trick,
Yeah.
I actually do it in the beginning of every stage show that I perform. I have the audience have their hand like this. So let's do stretch our hand. Yes? Yeah. Shake the hand, shake the hand, shake the hand, shake the hand. Mm-hmm. Now, I then, of course, on the stage, have them shake their body, but then no need for that for now. Yes. Have your left hand face down. Mm-hmm. Yes. Have your right hand on top, locking your hands. Yes. So this is a trick, actually, David Copperfield. Can I put your hand a little bit down? Very good. David Copperfield also does this trick on stage in the beginning of some of his stage shows. Now, I hope the audience were following. If not, there was a left hand turned down, right hand on top, on a count of three. On a count of three. 1, 2, 3. We will turn our hand. Thank you.
Yeah, that's good.
So this is a magic
I need
that
to rewind the video and watch it again.
Well, if you rewind it, you might get where the whole magic happened.
Yeah.
So this is of a misdirection. I'm going to teach the audience. I'm going to teach yourself. If you don't know how it works, I'm going to tell you how it's done. So you're sitting in a setting of, let's say, 3, 4, 5 people. Even one person would work. And you will have them stretch their hands, shake their hands. It's just an extra sort of a movement you're doing, nothing to the trick. You will have them the left hand face down. The right hand goes on top, locks the fingers. Yes? Yeah. Until here, I'm doing what you're doing, what everybody else is doing. If I'm sitting with the big audience of people, I'll just look toward one of them and I'll tell them, can you put your hand a little bit down?
Yeah, and that's when you changed.
So when that is happening, when I tell one of them, can you put your hand a little bit down? Everybody is looking at that one person. What is he doing wrong?
Perfect.
Why is he ruining the magic? What's happening here? Yeah. Nobody's looking at me, and that's my misdirection. Can you put your hand a little bit down? Yeah. I take the hand that was from top, I bring it to the bottom, and I lock it. So this looks like the same thing, but a little bit different. So instead of being from top and rounded, it's from bottom. So yeah. So what you've done, let's do that. Then you take your hand. So that's this.
Yep.
You will do this. Now you can tell.
Yeah.
So this is a trick that if I'm somewhere and somebody goes, if I don't want to really do mind reading and all, I go, okay, let's do this. It's a fun trick. People enjoy it. Nobody would know how it's done, because when you do the misdirection, everybody is looking toward, let's say, somebody. Yes. And then that somebody is that person is the person that's ruining the whole thing. Of course, not nice, but then we have to do something at least to do the magic, isn't it? So then I create the magic for myself. I take the clap. Then, of course, they open their hand and they give me that clap.
That is incredible. I always love to like try to identify what small subtlety or small misdirection is the one that actually where the trick actually happens,
Sure,
right?
yes.
Because
Sure, yes.
you feel like you're doing the trick and then in the middle you say put your hand down means that I was doing something wrong.
Sure.
But that is all part of the trick.
Definitely
It's
it is.
all planned.
Definitely
In,
is.
in fact, the most important part of the
It
trick.
is. Now the thing
Then-
is, if I would do this on a TV channel, somebody's gonna watch the video 3 times and will know how it was done. So I don't do these kind of tricks. This is a trick that I do on stage because stage is fine. Because not that somebody's gonna rewind what happened on the stage, unless if somebody's filming it from the audience, then they can just get to know that trick. And I don't mind this trick to be taught to them if they don't figure it out. This is a nice, cute trick somebody could learn to perform for the parents, for their friends, for the loved ones once they're sitting with each other.
Really appreciate it. Thank you so much, Moein, for sharing it.
Thank you for the time.
I have 3 final questions
Sure,
for
yes.
you, short
I'm
ones.
Here. I'm here.
What are some books, movies, or people that have strongly influenced you in your life?
People, I would say my grandfather first, David Copperfield for sure. After my grandfather got my eyes open to the world of magic, David Copperfield was the magician. I didn't know his name, by the way. So when my dad used to get me the VHS tapes to watch, I knew the magician. I was watching the TV special, but I didn't know his name. But later on in life, I got to know that, okay, his name is David Copperfield. And then the shift in my world performance of magic was by Darren Brown. So it was then Darren Brown that opened my eyes with the possibility of doing mentalism rather than just doing magic. So these are the people. Movies, I mean, The Prestige and The Prestige and The Illusion.
The Illusionist.
The Illusionist.
Yes.
Those 2 movies. I mean, of course, if you want to see Now You See Me, then Now You See Me movie. You've seen the Now You See Me
Yes,
movie,
I
yeah.
have.
So I'm actually being part of a project that they are doing for the movie. Now You See Me in Dubai Parks, in Motion Gate. So they are creating Now You See Me theme.
Right.
And my products are going to be there. I'm creating products for the movie, and I'm going to be performing magic there. It's going to be in September. So that's also, yeah. So Now You See Me, of course, that gives you different flavor of magic. You will see the sleight of hand. You will see the mentalist and hypnosis. You will see, I think, illusions. The other guy was doing more of illusions and all. And of course, a female magician, which we don't have enough of. So hopefully more people are going to be affected of female to get and become a magician.
I'm sure they are. What would you like your legacy to be like?
See, the thing is, me being the first Arab Emirati magician and keeping that path for myself, that was my aim. And to be able and perform all kind of magic that nobody have done before me. That's the reason I did the whole putting myself on fire, because no Arab magician have done putting themselves on fire as part of being a magician. Vanishing a big building like Burj Khalifa, that was something that I wanted to perform. Now we are working on a levitation with a brand, so I'm going to do a levitation for them. I have had somebody fly on live TV. I've cut people in half. I've vanished people from their place to the studio, back to their place. I've done lots of major magic illusions. Levitating is going to be my next. And just keep on going and creating more magic and mesmerizing people.
Last question. What do you think is the meaning of life?
See, the is not to be stuck in the same circle until your life ends. Create some difference. Create some magic for yourself in life. Meet new people. I'm really glad I came and I met you today. I have a new friend now in my phone, and a person that who lives actually near where I live right now. You know what I mean? It's like, just go out, meet people, experience new thing. Life is short. You never know. You know what I mean? It's just live life. And don't be stuck into the same loop until life ends. Just experience life. Travel if you can. Not now, I think, with pandemic, it's a little bit restricted. But then if you can, just travel, meet more people. be open of experiencing new activities if you've not done it before.
Experience the beauty of life. That's an amazing meaning to have. Moein, thank you so much. If people want to connect with you online, in person, come for some of your shows, where can they do so?
I mean, my social media, definitely my website, my social media at Moein Al Bastaki, it being in Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, LinkedIn. My website, www.moeinalbastaki, moeinalbastaki.com. I'm there. I try and keep active, show lots of magic, and hopefully people enjoy and get entertained by them.
They are entertained and they will always will be. Moein, thank you so much.
Thank
It's
you
a
so
pleasure.
very much. Thank you for the time.